Welcome back from the break. Thank you for staying here on KTN Home. If you are just joining us, you are watching Man Talk. I am your host, Susan Joroge, and today we are discussing cheating with these three gentlemen. I'm trying to understand from the male perspective whether they see cheating differently from how we see cheating as women and what they think that you could do if you're in a similar situation. Now, for everybody that's watching us on social media, please talk to us. It's at KTN Home _ everywhere online. You can find us there. Use the hashtag ManTalk and the hashtag KTN Life and Style so I can see all your tweets. And we have an SMS line open as well. Do you agree that women are like petrol stations? Do you agree that Kenyan men need to work on their emotional availability? Hit us up. The text line is 22151. 22151. It's right here on the screen. Text us what you think. And if you'd like to come onto the show, Man Talk as well, hit us up on the text line and we will get back to you. Now, just before we went on the break, we were trying to see how men can make themselves more emotionally available, because communication, as you were saying, Sam, is very, very, very important in a relationship.
Yes.
And when you have good communication, it's likely that you won't cheat.
Yes.
Either you'll communicate well and the relationship will end if it has reached its course, or you will proceed further and then nobody will be, no one will cheat on the other.
Yes.
We were looking at reasons for cheating, and I want to take us back a little bit. You were looking at how women and men have different reasons for cheating, which I really, really liked.
Yes.
Revenge for women was very good.
Yes.
I think that one is actually quite true. When somebody feels betrayed, they want to do the same.
Yes.
Some men also will behave the same if a woman has cheated on them and they feel betrayed.
Yes.
For men, you had mentioned adventure, and they also people who claim that they're lacking something in their relationship, so they're looking for it outside.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask the tough question that never really gets an answer.
Yes.
Is if you're feeling that you're lacking something in the relationship, why is it that men never leave this one, break up with her, and go out and search for the new one, or be single and free, date around, stick around?
Yes.
Why does that disconnect usually not happen? There's always of, let me keep my cake and eat it too.
Yes. So the man is not cheating because he has stopped loving their woman. They still love them. And they're not cheating because now they're loving someone else. They're cheating because there's something that they are lacking, or maybe they're just adventurous, or they just want to try out, or maybe they're in the wrong company. By the way, one of the biggest reasons why men cheat is the company they keep.
Sure.
We cheer up each other.
The
company they keep. Mimi nakwambia, there are people I decided to cut off my list. Sababu when you start talking, conversations za wasichana tu. Hey, that kademe, sijui nani alifanya nini, sijui bibi ya mtu. Paka you start like, hata mimi I'm missing out. This thing,
You want to fit in.
You want to fit in. The company that you keep really matters. But I keep saying this. There are three things that keep a relationship together. I think it's in Proverbs 24 verse 3. A house is built by wisdom. By understanding, it's established. And by knowledge, the rooms are filled with precious riches. Three things. Wisdom, understanding and knowledge. It never says love or sex. It never says any of those things.
It never comes up.
It's just those three things. So, if you have the right knowledge, reading books, like this gentleman here has a beautiful book about dating. Like, get stuff that will elevate you, like watch such shows, or just engage with people who elevate who you are. The people you hang out with really matter. And men, hiyo ndio makosa tuko nayo.
What I wonder is there's usually, self-pride in a man, like what you were talking about being a man, which can come from what you're doing in your day-to-day. It can also come from your faith and the power that you believe that you get from God. It can also come from your relationships, how your family treats you. Your family treats you with respect, they value you. You go for family events, you feel important when you're there, you feel needed. So you get these values of being a man, being a human being from these values. Now, that being a man, mbona hiyo inatokanga kwa situation sa zile cheating imeingia? Because, and I ask because of the difference of how women are judged and how men are judged. So women should always be seen as, to be very chaste and to be, she can avoid cheating at all costs. If a woman cheated, it was her intention to hurt and deceive, But for men, it was, no, he could have the wrong company, he's been misled, he's confused, forgive him, take him back. For the woman, if she cheated, leave her. No future,
you see, when a man cheats, it's because he doesn't love the other person.
Yeah, but why is it that a man will not be in a situation with a woman and realize, oh, I'm being compromised, I am a man, and leave that situation?
You see, Susie, what happens is for men, and I'm not justifying, but for men, what happens is men, we tend to enjoy the chase. I've chased this one, I have her. Okay. So this is a project done.
It's complete.
Yeah, the project is complete.
So you said this is the last time you came on my show and you still shocked me. Hey, continue.
So I have to move on to the next
deal.
one.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So once, you know, even I'm not serious about it. I'm playing with the emotions. That's why I always say, if you're not serious about a woman, do not play with the emotions. Wachana nae. And also, you get to understand that if a woman decides to cheat, it is this way. You realize that a man can be in a relationship, keep on cheating, he can get out of that relationship and heal. But a woman, she will like get hurted in that relationship. She will heal and completely move out. That is why the moment a woman will get out of a relationship, no matter what you do, she can never come back. Yeah. Because she has gone through it all. So back to what we were just saying is that a man, any man who does not control his zip, that is not even a man, he's a boy. Because real men have control of everything. You know, being a man, it means responsibility. You have to be responsible of your emotions. You have to be responsible for everything. So it reaches to that point whereby you have to be intentional with the emotions. Who are you directing your emotions to? Yeah. Who are you committing yourself to?
I like what you said about controlling your zip. Let me use the same analogy. And that is not a man, it's a boy. I want to remove myself from this situation and imagine you three are having a conversation without me there. Yeah. Yes. So the boys club conversation, that man's room conversation. Yeah. And you've talked about how influence, you know, your sphere of friends and the discussions you guys have can mislead a man.
Yes.
In those spheres, do you guys ever have conversations where it was only men talking and, you know, somebody was talking about ladies or girls or relations they've been having and then a man responds with what you've just said of, wewe unapotea, because what you're behaving is not like a man.
Conversation.
Yeah,
that never happens.
It never happens.
Kwanza when
the bigger for being a man will be this other one.
I like, because this is a special breed of men. People who can speak and say, you know, we need to control our zips.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happens. In those two meetings of ours, we're having drinks and, you know, we're enjoying ourselves, we're watching a football game, and then someone comes and says, hey, by the way, my wife, ameniacha, sijui nini nini, sijui nilishikwa. What we do? Tunaambia, bro, fanya hivi, mutishie mbili, kunywa hizo. Hizo,
wacha kunywa. Usikie warm.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to whereby, you know, we have bridal showers and all those kind of things. I am looking for a day whereby we will be having groom showers. Because you realize...
Kamweredo ya men.
Yes, whereby as men we can, like, you realize girls can be taught on how to be women in the relationship, but no one sits the boy child to tell them that, you know what, this is how you need to behave, this is how you need to handle a woman. We don't have those kind of discussion. For us men, we can sit down to discuss about finances, to discuss about football.
Kuna kashamba tunataka kununua,
they always there. Never. Matters relationship never. That is why a woman will take pride and say that, you know, I'm married to son. So you will never see a man saying that, you know what, this is my wife. Like, talk more about their relationship.
Yeah. You know, it will be a little bit difficult for my colleague to advise me about a relationship. Yeah. I think how to get it right, let's go back to our families. If I have a father or an older brother, let him take up that role and try and guide me. Because tukienda tu pale, kani football ni football, kani batok ni batok. There's no time for that. And even if the guy tries to be like optimistic and try to advise on how to go about things, utichukulia seriously, because guy tumekuwa tu na hapa naona life yake pia. So when it comes from a person who is a little bit older and experienced than you, I think you can hit the advice.
The place of mentorship has to play a bigger role. I've always said this, a man who is in authority must be a man under authority. So it reaches to that point whereby, you know, submitting under someone doesn't mean that you are weak. It surely means that you've understood your greatness and you are ready to be taught. Because the moment you are taught, the way you were just saying earlier on is information is power, and how powerful you act is dependent on the kind of information you are having. Yeah. So the place of mentorship has to come in, whereby men need to be taught that, you know what, this thing does not add up. Today, let me tell you, we sit here, we are celebrating people who are causing impact on the surface of the earth. Yes. But we are not celebrating people out here, people who with the multiple lovers, people with all those kind of things. So channel your energy in the right way. Yeah. We will celebrate you for the impact you are causing. Yeah. We will not remember you for the multiple lovers.
Yeah, I like that. And thank you so much for having that conversation on mentorship, because I think the guidance that you're saying, especially at the root level of the smallest unit of family, yeah, nuclear family level, maybe the egos you're talking about are so big that fathers are not able to talk to their sons. They want to assume that just because he is my son, he is of my blood, he will thrive on this earth. But you actually need to sit him down and talk to him about things. And your experience in past relationships as a man, whether you were hurt or it was successful, will still be helpful to your son. And it will help men to know how to treat women and women to know how to treat men, and to be very helpful. Now let's go to the other side of cheating. Let's help people. Let's give people advice. For you guys as men, do you have advice of how somebody can trace whether they are being cheated on? Labda una suspect, labda kuna inkling, and you want to know. So do you guys have the signs you should look out for? And I assume the signs are different. If you're being cheated on with a man, so if you're a lady dating and the man is cheating, are the signs different for if it's the man cheating or if it's the woman cheating?
Now, according to me, it's very difficult for a man to find out if the wife is cheating, because women can really hide these things.
That's true. I think there's even a quote, it might be from a movie if I'm not wrong, but there's a lady who was discussing, she had two past husbands, and both of them had cheated on her, and she divorced them. Yeah. And she was talking about her past relationship and marriage experience. Yeah. And she was like, but within those marriages, I cheated several times. I had numerous boyfriends and I was never busted, not once. Women
can cheat and you might never ever get to know. You can even raise a child that is not yours. And all along you've been thinking, this is my son. Yeah. But as the child grows, and you know, this child ameacha kunika, ameanza kukaa neighbor sasa. Men get caught really fast because men struggle with, you know, you can feel the emotional disconnect. And then there's always the sixth sense. I think you can sense something when your partner is actually doing things with other people. Because I believe we are more spiritual than we are physical. So, of course, when you connect with another person out there, those are spirits connecting together, and somehow you'll feel there's just something that is not right with this relationship. But the number one thing is, you know, anytime you cheat, several things will happen to you. You'll struggle with guilt. That one you can't run away from it. Yep. You'll struggle with shame. Yes. And the funny part about those two is that guilt makes you feel like you've done something wrong. And somehow you want to make it right. Yeah. And sometimes you'll try and throw hints to your partner. Or they start behaving funny. Yeah,
someone who never used to be gifting you suddenly is gifting. Someone who never used to buy fruits and vegetables.
Mara moja, exactly.
Another thing is change of behavior. All right, so zamani alikuwa na password yangu ya simu. Nowadays, the pattern itself, what is complicated.
It's an algorithm. It's complicated.
Yes, yes. Even you find some instances, like you are showering. You can call hapa. You like zamani you used to tell pick.
Take a message or
yeah. Saizi unakuja na sabuni.
He would run from.
And it's M-Pesa calling, so sorry for using that one. even the name tag given to that person, something suspicious.
Doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yes, that's one. Another thing is, you know, maybe you had schedules for your time, maybe going to visit your friends or something. Yes. Then all of a sudden, we cancel out, we are bolt out on these visitation. So that's also a red flag. It's also a sign to show you that there's something wrong with this.
Yes, something you need to look out for. Now, there's always that question of once a cheater, always a cheater. And there's the argument of whether that is the case or is not the case. It comes up a lot actually with men, and the man is the one that is being going outside of the relationship. The man is the one cheating. And ladies, you know, you'll be told, once he's somebody who steps out of the house, that's how he's always going to be. Now, I want to know from you guys as men, because also within each of your friend groups, I know there's that one guy Hawezi taki akaribia sister yako ama cousin wako, you know, that best friend of yours who's a lady and you know she has a lot of potential in life. If you saw him approach, you would run. You
Hata
would be like,
tukumsalamia hi.
yeah. You'll even warn them when they're saying, you're like, apana, uyo, no,
You're
please.
the wrong number.
Yes. So we have those people in our society, we have those friends. So is it true? Is that the case with men particularly? Once a cheater, always a cheater? Or is there something that has to happen to this person for them to
I
stop
think
cheating?
cheating is a personal decision. There are people who will cheat today and they'll never cheat again. There are people who will cheat and then it becomes a habit, because these things are about how you decide to live your life. If you decide to live a life with no values,
Yes.
that's exactly what becomes of you. But once you cheat, it's like a mark on your face, because your wife will keep reminding you of it. Sometimes when you have conversations, "Wewe rudi kwa shiko."
You know what happens is no one just cheats on within a span of a minute. They began it long time ago, knowingly or unknowingly, because patterns in a relationship will never lie.
Okay.
So this person started it some time back. And remember, the things you tolerate, you're empowering this person on how to deal with you. So you understand? So you have to define it at that particular moment. You be like, okay, this is a deal breaker for me. You know, you just have to be like, to state it from the word go.
So you think there's actually some partners who can play a role in somebody being a multiple cheater, cheating multiple times because of how you deal with the situation when it happens? When you bust them, whether you forgive them quickly, or there are some people who choose to not even deal with the situation. Yeah. They just know, like the one you were saying, if the girlfriend annoys you, come discuss with the wife. The wife has just decided to erase that and put it on the side.
Yes.
So like the way you were just saying, you see, once a cheat, like that cheating is just like a mark. It will never, like one day you can just wake up and your wife will be like, you find her crying, you ask what? She'll be like, what is the day? She will be like, okay, you remember this is the anniversary of you cheating. So it will just send, yeah, exactly.
They never forget.
Yeah,
you know those two memories to
Yeah.
our Facebook.
It's true. Also, 'cause we have
1
really
year
good memory
ago.
as women. We remember a lot.
So
It's been a year since you cheated on me.
so it sends, actually it sends your relationship to the ICU, and it means that you will do a lot to keep up.
Watafanya so many anniversaries.
Exactly.
So do you think that a relationship can survive cheating? You have a relationship of two people, one person cheats. If they're busted, now it's out in the open. Do you think that relationship can prosper, Henry?
Yes, I think my brother is right what he's saying. When busted, and I think it depends. It's a case-by-case argument. If you are remorseful enough, then the lady amekubali, I think it's going to strengthen your relationship, right? But if you do it repeatedly, then you are not remorseful enough.
Right.
So I think it's a challenge. So it depends on how you approach it.
Yeah.
Then I think if you caught him once, shouldn't be a deal breaker, because I think you weigh options.
Okay.
You see, I have invested my emotions, resources,
Time.
We see all those kind of things. So when I'll be leaving, I'll have a second thought about my leaving. So I think yes, it should be thought well. It should be a well thought out.
Yeah, be very careful. But now, if you don't end it as a deal breaker, if cheating is not a deal breaker for you, you decide to forgive the person and work through the relationship. How do you work through that relationship and you're not living through the two horrible experiences you guys have said? There's the one of the lady always remembers the anniversary of cheating, the half anniversary, like you're saying, it's like a wound that she keeps pricking at and she'll remember. Or the other side of the man will be forgiven and become a serial cheater. How can people work through a relationship where cheating would only happen once and you can continue forward and have a successful relationship?
One thing I tell people, you have to separate between a person and an act. So cheating is a situation.
Right.
And that does not necessarily mean that's who you are. It's a mistake. And I tell people, a man is not defined by his mistakes. He's defined by how he corrects his mistakes. And most people tend to mix both of them. This is a situation. So if you have to deal with it, attack the situation, not the person. So for instance, ask this person, what really got you to a point of doing this?
Ending up there.
So you are dealing with the issue as itself, as the whole cheating element. And then look at the details. How did it happen? What was happening? And sometimes when you're asking these questions, also look at yourself as the other person who feels very offended and attacked. Why did they betray you? At times, you know, kwanza at that space you're so angry.
Yeah.
And then, you know, this is someone that you really love with all your heart.
Yeah.
And then kuna hizo my imagination, my pictures, another man with her. Kwanza unamuimagine kwa hoteli expensive, ama unamuimagine sijui nyuma ya gari, ama kitchen, ama
inakukasirisha tu.
Kwanza hiyo inakusumbua, your mind is angry. And the first thing I tell people, don't rush into solving the issue instantly. Give it time. Let it first sink. Pole pole tu. Ni kama tu ukipata matope kwa trouser.
Yes.
Wacha ikauke kwanza.
Yeah.
And then sasa wipe it off.
Now when it's wet, you mess it even more.
Then now the other person who was involved in this act has to be deeply sorry, like what he's saying. There has to be a sense of remorse. Like,
now, apple remorse, I need you guys to help me, because there's men who are serial cheaters who they cry when they are busted. Ile machozi inatokanga kwa hiyo situation. Even as a woman, you can get shocked. Now you're like, have I taken somebody's son to a point of no return? Will he be normal again?
There are people who are like professional manipulators.
Yes.
They cheat and then they even make you feel like you're the problem.
Yeah, it was your fault. You're the one who caused. So how do you advise women to differentiate between a man who is truly resourceful and wants to continue having a relationship with you and a manipulator?
The foundation of a relationship plays a major role.
Okay.
And also you have to have the value system of that you've set, the common ground that you guys meet. And also my advice to everyone out here, do not cheat just because the other person is not seeing you. Do not do it because it's personal integrity. You be like, I'm accountable to myself and I'm accountable to the other party. So no matter what you do, be that kind of a person. Am I loyal to myself? Because whatever you're doing to the other person, you might think that you're harming the other person, but actually you're harming yourself. You're harming yourself. So no matter what you do, that's why I can confidently say, if you are doing that kind of a thing, you and that person on the street, you understand what I'm saying? The only difference is them, they're in the public sector and you're in the private sector.
Now I want you guys to share your contacts and your social media handles so people can know where to find you, where to get the avocados. Henry, we can start off with you.
All right. Thank you for having me, Susan.
Yes.
Producer. All right. I'm Henry Wenena, a TV producer at KTN. Welcome home. And you can inbox me. Slide to the DM skid.
Yes.
Njoro_Wenena.k. That is on Instagram and Twitter, TikTok. That's what's up.
My name is Sam West. You can check me out on Instagram, Sam West KE. I'm also on Facebook, Sam West. I'm also on YouTube, Sam West, everything. I'm a motivational speaker. Follow my socials just to get daily motivational tips. Pale kwa mtandao.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much for having me. I'll say one thing. What counts is what you put in your life out here. That is what we are going to remember you. So no matter what you do, live as a legend, but more importantly, think of the kind of legacy you leave behind. My name is Alan Lawrence, and you can find me on social media, on Facebook, Alan Lawrence, Instagram, Alan_320. Then, we can interact from there. Also YouTube, Alan Lawrence. Thank you so much.
Just before we close, I have one last question. So if a man cheats and is very, very remorseful, he can be forgiven and the relationship can move forward. Now, if a woman cheats and she's very remorseful, can she be forgiven and can the relationship move forward? Yeah?
Yeah, I think a deep understanding why she cheated is the reason. Because when a man cheats, that does not necessarily mean he loves the other person.
But
when a woman cheats, she's probably in love with that other person.
Oh my gosh, ending the show, the spun in the works. Henry, do you think a woman can be forgiven?
Yeah, you can judge it from the, if she's honest enough. You know. You can tell too. So and communication. So if you don't sort what is ailing your relationship, it's gonna be a perennial problem.
But for everybody that's been watching us, you have gotten their social media handles. Do message them, DM them, get their services. If you have any extra questions from the episode, please do hit them up and ask. Use the hashtag ManTalk and the hashtag KTN Life and Style so we can see all your tweets. And if you want to come on the show, remember you can use the text line 22151 throughout the whole day. It doesn't stop just because the show is over. I've been your host, Susan Joroge. I'm going to be here with you for ManTalk next week, same time. You can find me on social media at Sura_Common, Sura Common everywhere. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.